Welcome to the channel, guys. We're going to talk a little bit about the R5C today, how I use it, why I like using it, some things I like about it, some things I don't like about it, some strengths, some weaknesses. We're also going to get into the nitty-gritty of the menu settings to unlock it completely, how I use it, and how I unlock its fullest potential. If you want to get straight into the menu settings, just skip ahead. Okay, let's talk about three strengths, three weaknesses. The first strength is the fact that it's got the cinema menus in the hybrid body. So it's an R5 with the fan and a cinema menu. What does the cinema menu give you? It gives you false color, it gives you a whole bunch of time code options, it gives you all these great cinema stuff that you can only get with the Canon cinema line. That crammed into a little hybrid body, you get this camera. Okay, next strength is the fact that it's got good autofocus. The C70 and any camera before then in the cinema line for Canon was terrible with autofocus tracking, horrendous, really bad. This was like the first upgrade I really found. Since then, the C400 and the C80 are like light years ahead of that. The last strength that I found with this camera is the fact that it shoots 8K. When you need it, it's really nice to have the 8K. Not that I use it often, but the fact that you can internally record 8K on this, really awesome. Okay, let's talk about three weaknesses. Three weaknesses of this camera. Primary weakness is its battery life. I know Canon just released new LEP6 something batteries that are essentially the old Canon batteries, but they have like 50% more life in them, apparently. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But the main thing was I actually bought this extended grip to allow for a little bit more handheld shooting. Reason is I used to use V-mounts, and you need V-mounts still to shoot 8K. Well, actually, I think there might be a new upgrade now with the new LPE6 batteries, LPE6H batteries, that you can actually internally record 8K now on this camera, which I think is phenomenal. So that's one of the weaknesses. The battery life in this is terrible. The other weakness, in Canon, please, for the love of God, the micro HDMI cable on this it's terrible. And I wanted to record the menu settings through the HDMI monitor, but it turns out the port now broke on this, and I actually have to send it in to get fixed. That's just an example of, I just don't understand why they can't just make it work, fit like a full HDMI in here. FX3 has a full HDMI. Like, you can put it in here. I know you can. Okay, and then the last thing is, and I say this, it's the 8K. I mean, I have no idea why anyone would need to shoot 8K. It is nice to have it when you need it, but at the end of the day, I would rather shoot 6K. And the fact is I don't have an option to shoot 6K. Or sorry, it goes 4K and then up to 8K. So give us the option to shoot 6K. I'm not sure why it doesn't have it, but it's like 8K files are just massive. Actually, it says right here 3,000 megabytes per second. It's too much, man. Anyways, that's the last thing that I don't particularly like about the R5C. Now we're going to go through the menu setup. I'll show you how I rigged it out. I completely reset this so that we can do it together. That way I don't skip ahead to anything. Alright, this first menu is good. I like to have shutter mode at angle. Base ISO, I like to set base ISO at 400 and then switch it manually when I need to. I like to send on the extended range. Light metering standard, this is good. We don't do auto white balance. Continuous autofocus. Enable. Thickness is normal, large. I like to do autofocus frame, selectable. Autofocus speed, I like to have it at +1 and response at -1. Face detection and tracking, I like to keep that on because I often, when I'm shooting weddings or if I'm filming some sort of event, I like to have it focus on tracking the person's face. Face priority, eye detection on. Detect face and head, so that way when someone's head turns, it doesn't snap to someone else's head or face. Tracking by touch priority. This is new. I literally just updated this in the firmware. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but we're gonna. Oh, I think it means to track. Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. Thank you, Canon. You listened. 6. We're gonna go color bars off. All of this is okay. Digital off. I shoot on RF glass, so I like to keep that off and just use I typically just keep these the way they are. I don't really mess around with them too much unless I have to have a specific look, but You can also go in here and then edit these. Change this to Canon, whatever you want. You know, C Gamut, Rec 709, HLG, all that stuff. You can completely customize that however you want. Okay, we're going to go here, initializing media. This is essentially just if you want to initialize the card inside. Alright, here are your different formats, recording formats. Look into this a little bit. XAVC I found is a little sharper, but at the end of the day, MP4 HEVC 422 10-bit will give you a really good look. And you can switch this all out. Okay, so this is important here. 2-channel. I like to set this to 4-channel recording so that the 4-channel recording can give me a scratch audio. Alright, moving on to the next thing. Normal recording modes. See, these are great. This is how you decide between S and Q, S and F, or sorry, S and F clip, slow and fast, normal recording, all these settings here. We're going to go to second recording functions. I like to set the second recording function to relay recording. It's only when you have an SD card that's compatible with that, but at the end of the day, it will only switch over if you have a card that's fast enough. So, okay, moving on. Metadata, you can set in here, you can customize all your metadata to fit whatever you want. You know, for your cameras, it's usually ideal to go in there and set it so that you have, say for example, you've got 2 different Canon cameras, you want to make sure that this is the C camera. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is important here. When you go to have a microphone attached, this is when you choose your microphone settings here. I can create a different video for you guys there to talk more about in-depth for that, but everything's fine there. LCD luminance. Okay, luminance is how bright you have your LCD. I like to set it at +2. And then this I like to set to auto 1, LCD only. That way it doesn't switch when you cover the viewfinder. Viewfinder sharpness, all this, I like to leave it there, leave it, anamorphic, leave it. When the HDMI works, I like to customize all these, and because I don't have it working right now, I'm not going to show you any of those. View assist, okay, LCD. This is important for when you're shooting C-Log. I like to have it on when I shoot C-Log 3 just because of white balance and exposure, and I also like to have LCD for HDMI turned on when I have the HDMI working. Okay, this is good. Focus guide on, peaking, LCD off, everything off, false car off. Okay, advanced settings. Okay guys, we're gonna run through this. This is my favorite menu here. First one is we're gonna switch this one over to focus mode. 2 here is daylight. 3 display menu, keep that there. Push auto iris. We're going to switch this to face detection and tracking. This guy right here, we're going to switch this to base ISO. So I like to automatically change my base ISO depending on what I'm shooting in. And then number 7, I keep that the same. Okay, number 8, display panel info, keep that there. Okay, number 9, which is at the top of the camera, I like to set this to false color. All. That way I can quickly check exposures. Okay, 10 is the record button at the top. I like to keep that as, I like to set that to record so I don't have to press the, there it is. Okay, 13 function settings. We're going to have that as slow and fast motion. And then here at the front, number 12, which is behind the camera, I like to set this to autofocus lock. And the reason is because I can quickly access it with my right finger behind here, and it's especially handy when you're filming a group of people and you want to focus on one person and maybe someone's about to walk in front, or there's a bunch of people walking together, and you don't want the camera to hunt for people. That's where it comes in really handy. And for some reason, I also find that when I do that, the stabilization in the lens works better. I'm not sure if that is just me, or if that's just in my head, but I swear it works better. Okay, and then setting white balance, I keep that the same, and then all of this is the same. Okay, so now power saving mode. Some people like to turn this on. I don't. I like to have the illumination on, and then I like to have the batteries here, or I like to mount a V-mount. Okay, this is where it becomes important as well. This is grip control. I like to set this at ISO, and then top control, I like to set this as iris, and then select dial is default. Control ring. So now this is something that I like to set as select subject. It sometimes helps when you're trying to quickly switch over to a subject. It's pretty cool. Focus ring is linked to rotation degree. That's important. I focus pull a lot, and that is something that absolutely needs to stay on rotation degree and not based on how quickly I'm doing it. Keep key log. Okay. Assign button 10 as recording. That'll be the top. I'm going to set that as on-screen recording on, touchscreen response, normal, tally lamp on, fan mode always on. I go automatic, shutter, power off. Great. And that's it, guys. Alright guys, so that's it. That's the R5C in a nutshell. It's a fantastic hybrid camera. I hope that you guys gained some knowledge from the menu settings and how I set it up. I just like to customize it as much as possible so that it's easy to use on the day of. Like and subscribe. Leave some comments down below if you have any questions. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much.